So I thought I'd do a bit of an update video on what I've been printing with my Bambu Labs P1S. I bought this machine about 8 months ago now, could be longer, and have printed many things, mostly practical. They tend to be for projects that I'm working on, or for storage or hooks or that kind of thing. But I'll show some of those to you. So I've found it useful to be able to make occasional bit of hardware. And that's a handle that I made. You see in here used on a drawer set trolley thing that I made. I've printed quite a few of these Gridfinity boxes, storing small parts. Came out quite well, useful. So this one's a little mod that I've done for my keyboard. This is the keyboard on my CNC Plasma. Constantly pushing F5 to start the cycle. So I thought I'd just make a key. Turned out well. You'll see it works. And that's just a 40mm penny washer. But yeah, works good. Took a little bit of modelling. I can actually, maybe you can see it there, but I'll show it in Fusion so you get the idea. It fits. So this is the key as drawn in Fusion. You can see it's a fairly complicated feature and it's really tiny. It's no more than 4mm wide, and this is actually the replay of my drawing it, and you can see various mistakes made here. But I think in my second prototype I actually got it to work, which is not bad going for me. But now I could add different tops to it if necessary. You can see there's a slot there on the side that corresponds with the one in the keyboard, and the little clips to hold it in. So this is a little X and Y table that I made for my Genmetsu fibre laser. It just means that I can get a repeatable position for my piece of work. Otherwise the one I had previously just moved about, or there's no point putting it on the bed for obvious reasons. So this is as I designed it in Fusion 360. It uses some M8 rod for the threads, and the actual thread in the model is modelled in Fusion. And here's how I drew it. Took me quite a few goes to get this right. I think I actually had to have, for parts of it, 3 prototypes to get to the point that it's at now. I probably could improve it, but you can see that the middle one there had to be made in 2 sections, and then I put dowel pins in to hold it together. And there it is. I didn't put the text on the top in the end. And here it is in use. You can see by doing a frame, maybe I can adjust it so it's bang in the middle. Going the wrong way. And that'll be the image. And there it goes. This is IE engraved white on black using 2 layers. Does it lightly first, and then we'll go through and do the dark, or I should say whiter image. I find that works better for me on this particular fibre laser. It's a fibre laser, or it's a galvo laser they call them. It's a different wavelength to a CO2 or an LED laser. And it produces that. Comes up quite white. There we go. I tend to make mostly practical things, but on occasion I'll make a bit of a model. I quite like that. I think that's modelled extremely well. They're available in Maker Labs, and that's Pluto. But anyway, I painted the body of that one. Mostly practical stuff there. So this is a little stand I designed for my Fit 3 smartwatch. It uses the original cable that's supplied with the watch and puts it into a stand, as you can see it here. And then you just hang the watch like that when you're at night or just when you're charging it. Works quite well. Now there are various of these on Thingiverse and MakerWorld, etc. None quite like this one. You can see there I've put a hole in the back so you can actually remove the cable, and then the cable threads down the stem. And this is how I drew it. It's a bit of a mess. It was quite a difficult one to draw. This was some fine features had to be made to make the charge port attach into the head. I keep turning on and off the model as I'm drawing it. So this is an adapter that I made to go on to the end of my wet and dry vacuum cleaner. But you see it's quite a complicated thing because it has to fit into something that is certainly not designed for use with this particular vacuum cleaner. It's actually a good brush for getting dog hairs out of cars. And I designed it so that it clips over there and stays on. Now this has got some quite complicated features. You can see it's got 3 grooves that run down the centre of the tube there, and then has a barbed clip to hold it into the attachment. Once you've worked out those dimensions, then it's not too hard to do, but took me a while. So this is a clip that I've made for the trim on my Land Rover Discovery. I had a problem with the trim on the would be the B pillar with the seatbelt adjustment. The seatbelt adjustment thing here, it was a problem because it had broken free. The trim panel clips, which are behind here, and all the way down, just aren't strong enough to hold it. The original ones now are, I suppose, 12 years old on this car, and kept failing, and they just crumble. So I thought I'd make some better ones, and I made them so they hold the panel in better than the originals. So this is an original clip, but I decided to modify it to make it a bit stronger. See, it's got most of the features of the original clip, but a bit thicker. I printed this in ABS to give it a bit more strength too. This yellow one seemed to go brittle and break easily. So this is my lathe. Just made a small attachment for the chuck key. If you operate a lathe, you'll know it's really important to make sure that you don't leave the key in the chuck when you start it up. That's a good way you can potentially kill yourself doing that. There's plenty of designs of these on MakerWorld and Thingiverse. Most of them are sort of have a barrel, but I wanted a hanger, so I designed my own. And it works for me, that's good. So as before, this is my design in Fusion. It's a fairly simple design really. Didn't take too much to do it. It's a little loose on the back of the lathe, so I may actually add some 3M tape in there just to grip it on. But as you see, didn't take long to draw, and I didn't need a prototype. Got it right first time, so that's great. Now the other project I have to do on the lathe is install DRO, similar to the one that I have on my mill. I think the 3D printer will help a lot with that. So that long scale there has got to be mounted. It's got to be mounted under here. carriage moves that backwards and forwards, so I should be able to make some nice brackets, I think. In the past I've always done it with metal, but I think 3D printer would actually be more elegant. But we'll see. Maybe I'll report back on that. So that's just a handful of the things that I've printed with my 3D printer over the past few months. There are more, and if I remember them, and when I design a few extra ones, I'll upload them, maybe do another video. If something here caught your eye and you'd like to print your own, then just drop me a line and I'll upload it to Thingiverse or MakerWorld. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe if you're interested in looking at what I do in the future. Thanks for your time.